Have you ever felt a certainty so deep, so unshakable, that contradicting it would feel like questioning gravity itself? You remember a specific detail from a movie, the spelling of a beloved brand, or a historical event with perfect clarity. But then, you discover the universe, or at least our shared reality, disagrees with you. You're not alone. This phenomenon, this strange and fascinating crack in our collective consciousness, has a name: the Mandela Effect. It's named after the widespread yet false memory of Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. Of course, he was released in 1990 and lived until 2013, a fact that shocked millions who remembered his funeral on the news decades earlier. This isn't just a simple mistake made by one or two people. We're talking about vast swaths of the population sharing the exact same incorrect memory. It forces us to ask a profound question. Is memory a perfect recording of the past, a reliable videotape we can rewind and replay? Or is it something more fragile, more malleable, something that can be edited without our knowledge? The Mandela Effect suggests the latter, turning our own minds into cosmic mysteries waiting to be explored. Let's play a little game. I'm going to present you with 3 popular cultural icons, things you've likely seen hundreds if not thousands of times. I want you to reach into your memory, that personal archive of your life, and picture them as clearly as you can. Don't look them up. The point of this experiment is to test your raw, unfiltered recollection. First, think about the famous air freshener brand, the one that promises to eliminate odors from your home. How do you spell it? Is it Febreeze with a nice breezy double E in the middle? Next, let's turn to a classic board game, a staple of family nights and arguments over property. Picture the mascot, Rich Uncle Pennybags, from the game Monopoly. You can see him now, can't you? Top hat, tuxedo, a cane in his hand, and a very distinguished look. Does he wear a monocle over one of his eyes? That little circle of glass on a chain seems to perfectly fit his persona as a wealthy tycoon. Finally, we journey back to childhood, to a library shelf or a Saturday morning cartoon. Think of the beloved family of bears who taught us lessons about life, kindness, and staying away from strangers. They lived in a big tree house and had a very distinctive last name. What was it? Was their family name the Berenstain Bears, ending with Stein? It seems right, doesn't it? It just rolls off the tongue. Picture the cover of one of their books. Take a moment. Lock in your answers. Febreeze or Febreeze? Monocle or no monocle? Berenstain or something else? What makes the Mandela Effect so compelling is the sheer confidence people have in their answers. It's not a vague guess. For many, it's a core memory, as solid as the recollection of their first day of school or their favorite birthday present. Are you ready for the truth? Let's peel back the curtain of reality and see how your memory stacks up against the documented facts of this timeline. Let's start with that air freshener. If you, like countless others, spelled it Febreeze, I'm sorry to inform you that your memory has played a trick on you. The actual brand name has always been and continues to be Febreeze, just one E in the middle. Go check a bottle in your house. It feels wrong, doesn't it? That double E seems so natural, so intuitive, yet it has never existed on the product's label. Now let's check in on our wealthy friend, Rich Uncle Pennybags. Did you picture him with a monocle? A vast majority of people do. They can see it as clearly as his top hat. But if you were to look at the official Monopoly man, you would find his face is completely unadorned. He has never, not once, worn a monocle. This false memory is so pervasive that he's often drawn with one in fan art and parodies, further cementing the incorrect image in our collective minds. Your brain likely borrowed that detail from other similar characters like Mr. Peanut, who does wear a monocle. And finally, our dear bear family. This is perhaps the most famous and fiercely debated example of them all. If you remember the Berenstain Bears, welcome to the club. It's a very large club. However, every book, every TV show episode, every piece of official merchandise has always spelled their name Berenstain, ending with Stain. For many, this revelation is the most jarring. It feels like someone went back in time and subtly edited every book cover of their childhood. So, how did you do? If you got all 3 wrong, don't worry. You haven't slipped into a parallel dimension. Instead, you've just experienced a powerful demonstration of the normal and frankly fascinating quirks of human memory. Your brain isn't a perfect recording device. It's a storyteller, a pattern matcher, and an editor, all rolled into one. It's constantly working to make sense of the world, and sometimes, in its quest for efficiency, it smooths over the details, makes logical assumptions, and fills in the blanks. So what's happening inside our skulls? If it's not parallel universes, what is the scientific explanation for these shared memory gaps? The primary culprit is a process known as confabulation. This isn't lying, it's the brain's sincere but mistaken attempt to fill in missing information. Your mind constructs a memory by pulling bits and pieces of data from different sources. For the Monopoly Man, your brain likely mashed up the image of a generic old-timey aristocrat, who often had monocles in cartoons, with the specific character, creating a composite memory that feels completely real and authentic. Another powerful psychological principle at play is schematic processing. Our brains create mental shortcuts, or schemas, to understand the world more efficiently. The word breeze is common, so when we see Febreeze, our brain, seeking the path of least resistance, might automatically correct it to the more familiar Febreeze. Then there's the power of suggestion and social reinforcement. Once an idea, like the Monopoly Man's monocle, is out there, it spreads. You might see a parody of him with a monocle or hear a friend mention it. This new information can then contaminate your original memory, a process called the misinformation effect. When you try to recall the image later, your brain might pull up the reinforced but incorrect version. When thousands or even millions of people do this online, it creates a powerful feedback loop. Ultimately, memory is not a process of retrieving a file, but of reconstructing a scene. Every time you remember something, you are rebuilding it from scratch. Think of it like a chef making a familiar dish without a recipe. Most of the time, they get it right, but sometimes they might substitute an ingredient or forget a spice. Your brain does the same thing with your memories. The Mandela Effect simply highlights those moments when many of us, independently, happen to make the exact same substitution. The rabbit hole goes much deeper than bears and board games. The Mandela Effect touches nearly every corner of our culture. Think of the iconic line from The Empire Strikes Back. Did Darth Vader say, "Luke, I am your father"? That's how most of us remember it. It's quoted, it's parodied, it's on t-shirts. But if you rewatch the scene, you'll hear Vader say, "No, I am your father." Or how about Snow White? The evil queen stands before her enchanted mirror and says, "What, exactly?" "Surely," she says, "mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" It's one of the most famous lines in cinematic history, except she never says that. The actual line is, "Magic mirror on the wall." Did the popular peanut butter brand spell its name Jiffy? Many people are certain it did, remembering the slogan, "Choosy moms choose Jiffy." In reality, it has always been just Jif. There was another brand called Skippy, and our brains likely merged the two. What about the fruit of the Loom logo? Do you remember a cornucopia, a horn of plenty, sitting behind the fruit? It seems so fitting, so perfect for a brand named after fruit, yet it has never been there. Go ahead, look it up. The absence of something you so clearly remember is truly unnerving. These examples reveal something profound about our relationship with the past. Our memories are not static photographs, but living stories that we co-author with our culture, our expectations, and the very wiring of our brains. The Mandela Effect isn't a sign that reality is broken. It's a beautiful, humbling reminder that the human mind is the most intricate and fascinating universe of all, one full of its own mysteries, illusions, and shared experiences. It connects us, even in our mistakes. So, I leave you with this question. Which Mandela Effect surprised you the most?